welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, I'm playing a standard again. And this is in preparation for the Atlanta Spotlight Series event that happened this past weekend. By the time you're seeing this, I'm recording this before the event. My intention for this standard series was to play like 4 or 5 different standard decks and really get a feel for the format before the event. However, the event snuck up on me with the holidays, and I'm really only playing these 2 decks. I'm only considering Dimir midrange or one of the red mouse decks. They are clearly the 2 best decks in the format, and without a ton of format knowledge, I'm not going to go off on my own path here. Standard is also not my normal offering on the channel and is deeply unpopular with the viewership. If you are watching this and you like it, interact with it, hit the like button, leave a comment, share it to your friends. I'm not going to do this often, but if you want it to happen ever, just let me know. But here we are with the other best deck in Standard. It is Gruul and Dimir are the 2 top decks in the format. And the Gruul deck is built around the mouse shell. Heartfire Hero, Emberheart Challenger, Manifold Mouse is kind of one of the packages that you get in the format. Screaming Nemesis and Hired Claw in all these decks, Monstrous Rage in all these decks. And then there's some variation. There are mono red builds that have a lot more burn. There are Gruul Prowess builds that play Monastery Swiftspear and also a lot more burn. This version I'm recording won a standard challenge yesterday at the time that I'm recording this, like literally yesterday. This won a standard challenge on Magic Online. And this one's way more creature focused. It's a little bit bigger. Only 1 Burst Lightning for burn. We've got 4 Innkeeper's Talent versus 2. That's in a lot of the more aggressive lists. This one is kind of building for stability. Paw Patch Recruit, not a card that you see in a lot of lists. And it's got 3 across the 75. Obliterating Bolt in the main. This is great because it answers Kaito and answers Enduring Curiosity out of Dimir. This looks like a pretty teched out version, honestly, that has kind of pre-boarded for Dimir. Playing cards like Torch the Tower and Obliterating Bolt that exile things when they answer them is pretty important. But this is an aggro deck. You are trying to deal 20, and that's the name of the game here. I'm going to get in and see how this mouse shell feels in this Gruul aggro deck, and then I'll have to make a decision if I'm playing this or Dimir for Atlanta. Let's get into these games. I'm on the play in round 1. No 1-drop in my hand, but I'm still going to keep. I can answer a 1-drop if it's a mirror match, and then starting at 2, my hand's pretty good. Talent plus Challenger is a combo because that'll target your Challenger every turn and flip an extra card. I am on Karplusan Forest only for red mana, which will add up if this is a mirror match or anything about aggression at all. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, put a +1 counter on target creature. I'm just going to clear this thing. Another Challenger. Okay. The race is on. Bunch of haste creatures and a way to make them bigger and target them repeatedly. We're Esper. Nowhere to run. Okay, this is an enchantment that -3 is a creature, and then Ward and Hexproof. Or no, it's just Hexproof. Oh yeah, Ward and Hexproof. Ward and Hexproof don't work anymore. Tough beats. I'm going to go with the Nemesis here. It's more mana efficient, because I can Emberheart Challenger plus Talent next turn and immediately gas up the creature for a bunch of extra damage. But now Chapter 2 of this doesn't matter anymore. Level 2. Permanents you control with counters on them have Ward 1. No, they don't. Alright, this fairy picks up a non-land permanent you control, which is nowhere to run, which will then kill my Nemesis. And they're doing it now to play around all the pump spells that these decks play. Questing Druid. And that's not bad, but Mouse into Talent is better here. We get Prowess, then we get a +1 counter, then we get a flip, which I'm not going to be able to play because I've already made a land drop and there's no 0 mana spells in the deck. Obliterating Bolt is in exile now. Okay, Questing Druid is a reload if my opponent has another removal spell or another way to pick up the removal spell they already have. Okay, can we get a turn where they don't kill my thing? And Esper is, of course, a removal control color. This would be the appeal of playing a deck like this. If I could start to get a little momentum going with one of these things, every creature I've had was in play for exactly one turn. But they all had haste, so they did something on those turns. Fear of Isolation, return a permanent you control. They bounced a land instead of nowhere to run, which means they have another thing to play here. Okay. Could be a go for the throat kind of thing. Nemesis is powerful. Would I rather Questing Druid? That might be better for my mana. I'm just going to move to combat and make them do something. Because if we even get into combat, I get to flip a card, even if they kill this. They flipped Paw Patch Recruit. And if they have nowhere to run, I do have a spell I could prowess this up with, but they should have done that on their turn, so I don't think that's what they have. In with my Challenger. Town and big enough. Cost 3 if it targets a permanent you control. Return up to 2 target non-land permanents so they don't understand. Okay, so they're bouncing their nowhere to run and my mouse. That's fun. Okay. Learning new formats is a delight. Okay. I can cast Paw Patch Recruit with Offspring. That gives me 2 things here. And it doesn't matter with the nowhere to run, but I can at least spend some mana, get this leveled up. Chapter 3 does matter. And Paw Patch Recruit seems really good against this deck. If they know where to run, I just get to put a bunch of counters on my various creatures. Storm Chaser's Talent enters, make a 1/1 blue and red otter with prowess. Level 2, return target instant or sorcery from a graveyard to your hand. Level 3, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, make an otter. Okay. That's fun. What a fun little guy. It's got a hat on. Looks like it's playing sports. Otterball. You know where to run is here. It's going to hit the bigger one. Oh, it went for the little one. Oh no, it did go for the big one. And then some tokens automatically happened. Okay. I have a 3/3 now. It has ward that doesn't matter. Fake ward. Yeah, I'm just going to redeploy Challenger and target it with Talent. And I can still Questing Druid if I need more prowess. I target Challenger, I get a flip. Flipped Manifold Mouse, that card's really good. Okay, if I attack, there are double blocks they could make, but I do have a spell I could cast as well. And they have to think about Monstrous Rage just as a magic card. Okay, I can make this a 4/4, which doesn't matter. I'll just kill their bigger creature and deal 3 to them. And then play my mouse. Get Offspring it, unfortunately, but this distributes double strike at the beginning of combat. They hit land number 4 finally, enters tapped. And another talent makes another otter. They're extremely talented. They're pumping the brakes. No additional spell. Land number 5 matters. That lets me Nemesis and talent this turn. There are some quenches in the format, like pay 2, or the spell's countered kind of things, so I'm going to play the creature first. That one's more important. Okay, move to combat. Manifold Mouse. I only have 1 mouse, so it targets itself. I will make it bigger. And do I want extra on Nemesis? I don't want to put any counters on the token, because I know their deck plays bounce. Okay. I'm just going to make the mouse as big as I can. And I think I want this thing to have double strike. I could give a double strike or trample. I'll give it double strike. And then send with the team. A lot of tricks are live here. Blue, black, white represents a lot of things they might do, and the prowess means that any spell they have is more things than it seems, and the ward is turned off from nowhere to run. But I don't think me turtling up and not shoving with my 3/3 power creatures when they're at 7 is going to win me the game. They do have a spell. This town ain't big enough. They are targeting their nowhere to run and my token. That's why I didn't put any counters on it. I'm going to put a +1 counter on Screaming Nemesis, so neither of my creatures died and nowhere to run at this point. They could put their whole squad in front of the mouse and beat it in combat, but I'm taking them all down with me. Or they could double block Nemesis and take 4. Yeah, you have to block with all of them if you're blocking with any of them. Okay, so they're going to take 4. That also means they can't gain life anymore. Their squad's dead, and it's Manifold Mouse versus the world. Oh, never mind. This is actually a really tough block. Okay, they're just taking the 4, going to 2, leaving creatures in play. That makes some sense. I would have felt really good against an empty board where nowhere the one run can't kill anything. This is the first turn of the game they've had 4 mana, though. If they've been sitting on some card, some top-end banger that they might play, that could be a concern. There's land number 5. Their hand's nowhere to run, and something that's been there for a while. Because they've drawn lands on the last 2 turns. There's something that's been in their hand for at least 3 turns now. Okay, I drew a land. I could Questing Druid now. What sorceries do I care about? Like haste creatures or sorcery speed things I care about. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna Seek the Beast right now. This is the turn where pushing extra damage matters a lot. Okay, they just don't even want to see my 2 cards. Okay, cool. Well, my opponent did a lot of cool stuff very early in the game and got a ton of value, a ton of 2-for-1s that nowhere to run killed 3 of my creatures while adding to their board, and then they still died. And honestly, it wasn't close. Like, I was still at 15 or whatever. So that's really interesting. They destroy target enchantment, seems pretty good against their deck. Break up the bounce shenanigans, turn ward back on. Destroy target creature with flying. They also had a ton of those. I think Monstrous Rage is risky here because they have so much removal and bounce. How important is killing their creatures? I am learning all this, like, basically from zero, other than having played Magic before. The Lithomantic Barrage is uncounterable, kills a blue or white creature. Questing Druid can grind. Paw Patch Recruit actually seems insane against what they're doing. These are all cards I could reasonably cut. They did have creatures, though. Like, I do want to respect them. But maybe less than they'd want me to. Barrage clearly kills anything in their deck, but doesn't do any damage to them, specifically. I like the talents. Maybe not all 4. I like Questing Druid. I could keep a Burst Lightning in, just for that little extra reach at the end. Yeah, I think just more creatures and better interaction for their deck makes sense as a plan. Like I said in the deck tech, I'm already a build that is more creature-y than it is Bernie. Hashtag Bernie. I am once again asking for a hand with lands and spells. We got there, though. Hand's really good. Double Claw is so nasty. Whenever you attack with a lizard, it deals 1 to target opponent, and if you have 2, it'll trigger twice. You're just doing a million. Shadowy Backstreet tapped. Backstreet's tapped, alright. They put a card on top. Unlucky for me. I'm going to hire a Claw. Soulstone Sanctuary is a sweet card from Magic Foundations. It's a creature land. You only have to activate once. For 4, it becomes a 3/3 Vig with all creature types. Just done. It doesn't say until end of turn. Scavenger. And whatever this is. Spiteful Hexmage, a rare. Make a cursed roll and attach it to target creature you control. Alright, so this says base power toughness 1/1, which it had anyway. That's basically just enchantment material on the battlefield. And this is a 1 mana 3/2? Jesus. Alright. Okay. Well, that's really big. Is that a sideboard card? Okay, I'm gonna have to pump the brakes, because this thing is a unit. 1 mana 4/3. I cannot get through that here. I can hire another Claw and play Heartfire Hero. And I guess I'm just gonna pass. And my Lithomantic Barrage does not kill this thing. I wasn't ready for a 1 mana black 4/3. I guess the joke here is that it would have to curse itself if you don't have another creature. Which is Vanity. Destroy a target creature an opponent controls with mana value 2 or less. Well, that's all the creatures in my deck. Which one do you want? Heartfire Hero makes sense. Deals damage equal to its power. Opponent's at 19. And they're diversifying the pumps here. Make a food and make a wicked roll attached to a creature you control. Alright. If I just shove Screaming Nemesis in, they don't have good blocks. I get to wipe their squad if they block. I'll take that. Right, my Nemesis is Screaming. I think Screaming Nemesis is like a $30 card. It's crazy. Which I guess makes a lot of sense because it did just by itself invalidate 6 power and 5 toughness worth of creatures for 3 mana. At least temporarily. The Pixie could pick up the Vanity. Mana value 2 or less. I now have something that doesn't meet those criteria. Attacking for 4. They're getting rowdy. Alright, I'll take it. Ooh, okay. Didn't replay the card. The instants that we know are in their deck are Nowhere to Run, primarily. Okay, I'm going to go to combat and attack with everything. Or we'll see what happens. Dr. Owner is here. That'll tap my Nemesis. These hired claws will be hard to block because they could both be 2/3s. I'll offer it up. Is this how you want to tangle? Take 2 straight up. Okay, if they don't block, I'll just play cards. Yeah, just take your damage. Second main, Heartfire Hero. I can... This activates a sorcery. No, I can't. All right, I was about to say I can't activate this. But not if I'm gonna questing Druid, which I am. I can feel the walls closing in here. I just have to hope my opponent can't double spell. Oh, there's the Scavenger, and we know they have the Witches thing. Okay, Witch's Vanity, which will create multiple triggers off these Scavengers. I think I was supposed to questing Druid in response. I still could. But if I could have killed one of these Scavengers before that trigger, that would have mattered a little bit. Okay, they're pumping the Drowner. That is a Vigilance creature. Oh, they're going all the way in on that. I'm definitely gonna... Oh no, I've mistapped. The Rockface Village needed to play Heartfire Hero because I can't play... Alright, yeah, this is an important learning. Standard players know this shit, but I don't. Because I'm a fool. Alright. Well, mistakes were made. Shit. Alright, well, I guess that's dead. Yeah, there's no creatures or colorless spells I can play. So I am just going to have to take my medicine here and questing Druid in the end step. And if I hit a Lithomantic Barrage or Burst Lightning or Torch the Tower, then I blew it. Yeah, that was huge. Huge mistake. Okay. Good to learn, though. This is why we play Magic Online Leagues before we're at the Spotlight event. Okay, not punished. No cards that would have saved me. Still wrong, obviously, but those wouldn't have saved me. All right, I'm going to recruit this Paw Patch. That only costs 3. I have no idea what's going on right now. I am out of my damn mind. I'll cast this questing Druid. Okay. I promise I know how cards work. Yeah, this costs 3 total. This is the one that costs 4. We are making disastrous mistakes left and right. I don't think I push my hired claws in for 2 damage here and just lose them. That seems like a big mistake. Gonna have to get over the line somehow here. Recruit is one of the better cards against their strategy, but at this point their board might be big enough to just beat me without playing a bunch of soft removal spells. Squad is coming in. Oh, everything's coming in. Terrifying. Okay. Well, I have to block because this is more than my life total. We know they play enchantments with flash and a variety of spells and stuff. I think I'm just going to block the biggest creature and try to get a trade over here. If they play an enchantment, I die. But I think I lose to that anyway, especially if it's a removal spell. I'm just going to try to survive this turn in the best position that I can. Yeah, this thing just clowned me this game. So big. Okay, I'm at 2. I didn't die. They didn't have a trick. They are at 11, and I'm dead next to their flyer with no plan to deal with that. None of these cards help. I don't have any mice in play to give Double Strike or Trample to. Oh, this also grants haste. Okay, so I can have some mice. Okay, I'm going to Manifold Mouse with Offspring. This is not enough damage to win. I'm just seeing if they mess up. Oh, they have 2 foods as well. Yeah, there's no chance in this game. You also just watch me learn in real time that this gives haste. I can't kill them from 17, and I can't deal with their flyer. All right, there's no mistake they can make here. That wins me the game. Okay, I did board out these Torch the Towers that were really important. And maybe Burst Lightning is more important, because that could go face at the end, and seeing that they have that black creature that gets really big, and the +1 counters distributed by their buddies were huge there. Whatever those buddies are called, the one white guy. Barrage still seems really good. Yeah, I think Innkeeper's Talent can back off for Burst Lightning. Okay, I'm going back in like this. There's definitely more removal I could play, but I don't think that is the major pressure point. I just want enough. No lander. Gonna mulligan that. Come on now. All right, well, going to 5 is terrible, and it's a 1-lander on top of that. Jesus Christ. All right, well, I'll keep and put Innkeeper's Talent and Screaming Nemesis to the bottom. Okay, well, we had some close games with me at 7 cards, and We will see if I can make a game out of one where I'm down 3 cards to start. If I draw an untapped land right now and can curve out, we've got a chance. Okay, 3 for 3 on starting with that guy. Come on, untapped land. Can we play the game? Absolutely not. That is at least a removal spell. And I will just pass the turn. Oh, fuck, that's a sorcery. We're learning so many things. Okay. Well, 5's a lot of damage. But now I'm totally off curve if I draw a land. Yeah, I should have just barraged that thing. Heartfire Hero. Okay. Gonna try to attack. We're going through. Damage is being done. Okay, Heartfire Hero, you're more important. Playing off mana because I blew it. But this is right now that we're here. Dr. Owner. Tapping my hero. Another scavenger. And an enchantment. So now I'm completely smoked. I hope they go too far on a single creature. Nope, they did diversify them. Like Karumba. Alright, that will make more things next turn. I think this game is over. Obviously, I should have just barraged when I had mana up, and that's gonna bork my curve forever, even if I draw the second land, but the mull to 5, 1 land, no payoff. And now they have 5 creatures in play with 2 more coming. Alright, this game's over. I learned a lot that game. Obviously, things that are just literally mistakes. There are things where you can debate what the right play was, and maybe you come up with the wrong answer, but at least if you have a process, you can make a defense. And then there are things where it's just like, oh, I didn't know that card did that. And that's why we test. On to the next round. 3-for-1 Trading is having a New Year sale that starts on Wednesday, January 8th. Their online store has a fantastic selection of high-end Magic cards, especially for vintage, legacy, and old school players. Go to shop.3for1trading.com or use the QR code to sign up on their site and be the first to know when their promotion starts and new deals go online. I'm on the play in round 2 with a double claw start. Double claw on the play. I like it. I do love how many basic lands get played in standard. Obviously, like they should. That's the lowest power constructed format. Basically, it should be a staple of it. The mono red deck plays 18 mountains. And I'm not going to play mono red. I think it's pretty clear that the various splash colors, Gruul, Boros, etc., are better than that. But the idea of putting 18 basic mountains into sleeves is pretty exciting. I play with beta mountains in real life. And just leaving 18 beta mountains into a standard deck does something for me. I feel it. A mirror match. Heartfire Hero, okay. I'm going to hire another claw. I'll give them the opportunity to block poorly. And I think I just kill this thing before it gets off the ground. And then I can play Nemesis next turn and just push my on-the-play advantage. No follow-up. Do I want to hide Rockface Village? I think I do. I'm going to play the Karplusan Forest. There are builds that play Lightning Strike, but we're in combat, so they could still strike the Nemesis. Or they could just be a 10. They just said in the chat in the middle of combat, huge fan of the channel, which I always appreciate when I hear it, but normally someone's like, I'm a huge fan of the channel as they oops all spells me out on turn 0. This opponent is getting their head caved in, and they're like, huge fan of the channel, concede. Not that beating me means that I don't like you, but it is nice to know it's genuine, even when I'm not drawing you on the play. Okay, mirror match. I think this is what this removal is for. Just maximum efficient removal. I could see Innkeeper's Talent being good for going bigger than their deck. Like this might be a strategic advantage I have over a more prowessy build. I could also see Innkeeper's Talent not being a removal spell or a creature, and just being terrible and too slow on the draw. Monstrous Rage. I think I want to be kind of a little more controlling here. It's like blitzing over the top of them when I'm on the draw doesn't seem like it's how this is going to work. I could get another Bolt in here. Scorching Shot deals more damage than Bolt, but some cards do care about exile. I think I could go 0 Rage and 2 Talent and not feel too bad about that. Obliterating Bolt. None of these are instants, which would be great. Paw Patch Formation. Not really what I'm into here. This card rules, though. I played it in Pioneer recently, and I played it here. Modal spells just keep getting better. Alright, I think I will bring in a Scorching Shot. Just +6 removal spells here. On the draw, I might flip back and like cut some of the clunkier removal for my Monstrous Rages back. Okay, removal spell and some stuff to do. They milled to 6. And they had the tap land. These decks tend to play one tap land. And like obviously the upside of just having a land that deals damage is high, but in your 22 land deck that really wants to curve out, the tap land can be rough. All right, I've gotten obliterated by a bolt. Challenger, get in. Yeah, kind of them taking a mulligan and then leading on a tap land. I've stolen the play a little bit here. Nemesis. All right, Nemesis doing its thing. Oh, my own. I'm going to play Rockface Village just in case I want to activate it twice next turn. I don't know how likely that is to be a play pattern I'm interested in, but it's happened. Okay, I have more life, more creatures in play, and more cards in hand than them at this point. Okay, 4/4. Heartfire Hero. Oh, that's scarier. Oh, they still put it on the Nemesis. All right, interesting. More Nemesis. Okay, I'm just going to keep screaming. This Burst Lightning can finish off their shit. Okay, so they're taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Or I could Burst Lightning the Nemesis, which can't actually kill anything here. Yeah, I think I want to finish off the Nemesis. And I want to do it before damage. Oh, they'd actually take 12 because it's a 4/4. Hold up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do I put them to 1? I think I'd rather put them to 1 when I have Screaming Nemesis in play. How do they even get out of this? Yeah, I'm going to put them to 1 with a Screaming Nemesis in play. Yeah, they have to take 0 damage from this while also not killing it. I guess if they have like a Doomblade style effect, but I don't know what they could even have in Gruul that could interact with this without dealing damage to it. Unless they can combo kill me somehow right now. Iron Claw. And we got the GGs. Yeah, Screaming Nemesis, hell of a card. Worth all 30 of the dollars you spend on it. And on to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play for round 3. I'm going to keep got a little bit of a curve going. Here's that tap land, but I have plenty of lands that it's not a punish. Kind of too many lands, honestly, but I'm not going to mulligan this. 2 of my lands are also creatures sometimes, which is the upside of playing creature lands in your deck, in case anyone needed that explained to them. Why would we play an ETB tapped land in a Gruul aggro deck with 22 lands? Well, it's because sometimes it's a creature. I know, shocking stuff. Ooh, Manifold Mouse or Innkeeper's Talent. I could just get the talent pump in. The mouse is a better holder of counters for the future, but I think getting this damage, adding up, and staying ahead of the prowess creature is pretty sweet. And this is Botanical Sanctum. I wonder if this is the Tolarian Terror deck. Ooh, it's a bug deck. Fun. Multiple otters. Now they can play sports together. The race is on. Oh, the race continues to be on. Okay, I am going to level up Innkeeper's Talent before I do anything else, because this will inform what I do. Yeah, okay. Return target creature, planeswalker you don't control to its owner's hand. Yeah, right. That is what I was trying to flush out. And now I can drop this Mighty Mouse, who will be bigger and meaner next turn, and is born with Ward. Sleight of hand. This deck looks like fun. Standard is a lot of fun. I will say that, even if I don't know what all the words on all the cards are, or know all the decks yet. I've been whacked. All right, target creature fights another target creature. My mouse is too small to win this fight, and I've got 6 damage coming my way. Suddenly on the back foot. Serious business. Double claw. Okay. I'm going to save the Restless Ridgeline so I could triple spell this turn. Claw, Talent, Claw, a counter on each, ward for each, and we'll see if these otters can finish me off. Analyze the pollen, search your library for a basic land, if evidence collected, which was not, search for a creature or a land. All right, so basic land and a prowess trigger. Rona's Vortex. Can't kick it. I am going to 6, which is 1 Otter Bash away from being dead. Heartfire Hero. Oh, you're really good. Okay. Hired Claw, you're back. Heartfire Hero, you're in. Restless Ridgeline tapped. Get 2 counters on this because it triggers, and then I think I would like this Hired Claw to be bigger. Big enough to tangle with a 3-3. Now I have 2 things that beat a 3-3 in combat, and I just need to hold the line for a turn. And then I think I can start pushing. Up the Beanstalk. Yeah, let's go. I love a tempo up the Beanstalk deck. This is definitely a Tolarian Terror or Eddie Merc Crab deck. Town ain't big enough, which triggers Ward, which they can pay. Oh, it doesn't trigger Ward. Wait, why'd they bounce a little one? Oh, because they couldn't pay Ward. I answered my own question. That felt like a really good exchange for me. Interesting that they went for that. Okay. Heartfelt Hero plus level up, or Hired Claw, Heartfelt Hero. These both cost 4 to activate. All right. Hero, Claw, second instance of Ward 1. I'm going to put counters on the whole squad. I want the Ward 2 on everything. And then I'm going to attack with Hired Claw and pump it before damage. Get that extra point through. All right. I mean, they're suddenly in a lot of trouble. They're at 8. My hero will pretty soon be untouchable. Eddie Merc Crab. That taps 2 creatures if you could pay Ward. They cannot pay. They could only tap 1, and it would tap them out completely. Now, unless they have 0 mana interaction, I don't know how they even do anything here. Okay. Tap up to 2 target creatures. If they have another one of these, it won't work. This is a close call. If I attack, they take 2 right away to 6. If I play another Hired Claw, that does an extra 1 damage. But if I activate Soulstone Sanctuary, it does an extra even more damage. Restless Ridge is the best thing I've got going on here. All right. I'm firing up Restless Ridge. The creature land we've said so many words about. This doesn't have Ward. I'm going to target Heartfire Hero, and I'm going to try to put a counter on the ridge line. Okay, they do have a crab. This comes in tapped. They can tap my land. All right, so kind of wasted a +1 counter there. Because that's the thing they could have interacted with anyway, if they could interact with anything. Okay. If these 2 attack, I think they're just dead. They go to 6 from the attack, and then they can only block 1 thing. And the biggest thing they could block also kills them. All right, cool. Lithomantic Barrage is literally in the deck for the Tolarian Terror strategies. And it kills Kaito too, but it's very important here. Paw Patch Formation can kill up the Beanstalk or various classes or quests. I don't think I care about that. Torch the Tower, I'm not super interested in. Monstrous Rage, it's really easy to get blown out with all the bounce in their deck. Paw Patch Recruit, Monstrous Rage. Do I want more questing druids to try to grind? Obliterating Bolt doesn't kill anything. And those otters did almost get me done early on. Just the pair of otters and the prowess before they even got into the big things. I don't want to be completely disrespectful of that. I guess I can leave a Torch the Tower in then. If... No, I'd have to cut something else. More Monstrous Rage. Okay, yeah, I think on the draw I'd rather have a little extra interaction with their early tempo stuff than... Oh, I'm going to change all of their Burst Lightning, because the Exile doesn't matter and the Burn might. Okay. I like this situation, I think. I'm glad I know enough about Standard to at least have identified what they were up to from their opening plays. Okay, no 1-drop, but I get to sneak the tap land in for freezies. I will keep this. Sanctum Pass. Ooh, the Recruit. That is a 1-drop. So I think I'd rather get the tap land in than deploy that thing without Offspring. Seed of Hope. Mill 2, return a permanent. Nowhere to run and their second land both available to them. Nowhere to run in hand. Good to know. And the Swamp to cast it. Okay, they went for Beanstalk. If they didn't play a card this turn, I would have played Innkeeper's Talent. But since they did play a card, I don't mind deploying a creature here. Because if they had just left up the removal spell, I don't want to let them play on curve. I could develop my game without giving them that. All right, nowhere to run right now. Now I could play 2 cards. All right, I'm going to play Paw Patch Recruit first, and then I'm going to play Emberheart Challenger. Does that sequencing matter? No, the +1 counter has to go on a different creature anyway. All right, maybe that didn't matter. But I didn't want to play Screaming Nemesis into Unsummon and just cost myself my whole turn. A 4-mana showing. Endless nonsense possible here. I'm going to play a Manifold Mouse and Innkeeper's Talent. Just in case they have a Wrath, I want to play something that's not a creature. Town ain't big enough. Okay, so this Paw Patch Recruit, I think I want to put the counter on Manifold Mouse. Town ain't big enough, triggering up the Beanstalk and picking up a removal spell is what dreams are made of, though. That rules. Okay, nowhere to run. Can finish off the Challenger, which is why I put the counter on the Mouse, because that was going to be gone anyway. Beginning of combat, gas up the Mouse. Okay, we're in there. Got a 3/4 with double strike. Bushwhack, looking for a basic. There's the island. I'm going to play Paw Patch Recruit with Offspring. I'm going to do it before combat, because now they have to either deal with this Mouse before Innkeeper's Talent kicks in, or I get to put my talent on something else. Higher Claw, you're in there. Eddie Crab. Okay, if they tap any of my creatures, +1 counters start going crazy. But they probably just shouldn't. Tap up to 2. Yeah, okay. The creatures can't attack here. I put a counter on Hired Claw. Nowhere to run. I'm going to make Hired Claw bigger. And Paw Patch Recruit also bigger. Unsummon. Okay. I have a 4/5 now. Well, the race is on. Ooh, another mouse in the house. I love a house mouse. Challenger. Manifold. Move to combat. See what they got. Innkeeper's Talent on Hired Claw. Manifold Mouse on Emberheart Challenger. I'm diversifying where my damage is coming from. That's my goal here. Double strike. Eddie Crab, another one. They are tapping this turn. Definitely right to do. And then I take 10 on the backswing. Manifold Mouse can block. I think I'll block with Manifold Mouse. Does that matter? Delirium Terror. Oh yeah, they're going off this game. Oh yes, this deck is sick when it's doing its job. Nowhere to run. Another one of those. Okay, so I'm at 5. And opponent is all in. Can I do 18 in one turn? Probably not, but it involves drawing Lithomatic Barrage if it's going to happen. Okay, I could just play all these as blockers and hope I get a turn. Hired Claw actually does beat one of these things in combat now. I can also go to combat, target Challenger. I'm going to start there. I want to see another card. I'm not attacking this turn. Challenger gets a flip. Hit a land. Okay, no attacks. Land. Mouse with Offspring plus Claw. That provides me with a lot of blockers, even if they answer 1. Okay. We'll see if we can bring this back, facing down 20 power at 5 life. Dead to most spells here. Okay, the Vortex tucked my biggest creature, and now I just have to jump with everything. Bad news. Good news is they're hellbent. Can I deal 18 with this thing? Nope. Okay. Good run. That's what their deck looks like when it does what it's supposed to. Scorching Shot. Yeah, I mean, this card does kill their threats, which seems pretty important. I think maybe a Druid and a Talent come out. I'm a little worried this is too many reactive spells, but if you can take out their 5/5, it works. Oh, this is really slow and shitty. I'm gonna try it, though I hope I draw some spells. Hedge Maze. All right, come on, good card. Burst Lightning is at least a card. It has text. I will deploy my mouse. At least make you do something. Rockface Village can push damage. Searching for a basic, got a swamp, but played an island. Okay, Restless Ridgeline is a better way to use my mana than Rockface Village. Double strike, attack. Heck yeah, damage being done. My opponent does have to think about Snakeskin Veil a little bit. That is a card that some Gruul decks play, though that is more in the prowess builds than in the ones like this. A Challenger. Okay, I'm going to play Challenger before making my land drop, in case I get a chance to target it, and in case that target hits a land. Nowhere to run. Prowess does not save it here. Okay. So that stops, and then I'll play Rockface Village and get the extra point. If they have an unsummon here, I'm down to nothing. Yeah, okay. That's fine. They can kick the unsummon starting next turn, so at least I get to keep my card this way. And I can just replay this with Offspring next turn. The Claw. Mouse with Offspring. Claw. Nowhere to run. Alright. This card's so good. Oh, there's more. And bouncing my token, and bouncing the nowhere to run. I really have nowhere to run. My creature lands are going to have to do a lot of work here. There's that again. Okay, another Claw. This can target lizards? Lizard, otter, mouse. Yeah, okay. We're live. Hired Claw. Target lizard gets +1/+0 in haste. Are we doing it? Alright, we dealt damage. And I'm going to buff this homie. Yeah, realizing that Rockface Village gives haste is a pretty big upgrade. I thought that card was good when I didn't know that. Okay, Talent, which can immediately level up and rebuy this town, if that's how they want to use their turn. Whacking it. Searching for a basic land. There it is. Whacking it. Now they're trying to fight me. Burst Lightning, do your job. If they have another spell, this could be a huge blowout. But if they don't, it's also a huge blowout. Okay, so we did flush out a card that would have been really good. Nemesis, are you better than Ridgeline? What does Ridgeline do? Another target attacking creature gets +1/+0. Why can't it target itself? What a waste. Hey, this town target non-land permanents. Nowhere to Run is in fact a non-land permanent, which can kill Screaming Nemesis. I think I want to activate the land this turn. I could have left my mana up better. Ooh, we're blocking. Alright. Living in Fear. Level 2. What are we getting back? This town confirmed. This town costs 2. But it does target non-lands, which means my land plays here. They might just bounce their own Nowhere to Runs. Or Nowhere to Run and Stormchaser's Talent. Whatever they're doing. I'm not letting them just line up perfectly with what I'm doing by playing out the Nemesis. Okay, Talent and Nowhere are back. This is a 3/4 as well. Talent. So this is a loop. Like, given unlimited time and turns, they can pick up Nowhere, this town, which picks up Stormchaser's Talent and another thing every turn. They did leave up mana. Burst Lightning. Okay, well, I'm definitely barraging the Terror. That's the whole point. I will not be paying the ward, because I don't have to. That's gone. And now if I Ridgeline, I lose it to the Otter plus Nowhere to Run. I think I'm just going to chill. I'm not going to play into what I know they have. I can kick Burst Lightning if I need to. Level 2. The loop is on. This town ain't big enough. So their hand is this town, Nowhere, and 2 unknowns. I'm going to kick Burst Lightning at this thing, just in case they can cast 2 spells and make it 3. Okay. Ridgeline, wake up again. They can Nowhere this down to 0 power, but it doesn't kill it. Oh shit. It does have a throat though. That was one of the unknowns. Now I'm in trouble. Alright, I think we're kind of hard locked here. I would need to play several creatures in a turn where they haven't really done anything. Okay, they just picked up all their permanents. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're in the lock. Is there graveyard hate in this format? Is there... What about that raccoon? Can I play that? Its Soulstone State is not bad. All right, I'm going to Scorching Shot this. Otter. I just want that gone. All the creatures I have access to are 3/3. Even activating Soulstone Sanctuary just gives them nowhere to run. Cash grab. A permanent from among them. They hit Bloom Lake Verge. Okay, they chose to keep the land. That makes me nervous. Ooh, okay. Suddenly, something to do. Lizard, Mouse, Otter, Raccoon. These are rabbits? Come on. Lizard, Mouse, Otter, or Raccoon? What are the rabbits? Where do they live? Okay. I'm going to play Paw Patch Recruit. And then I'll play Screaming Nemesis. This is the multi-creature turn that I tried to get to. Right, nowhere to run doesn't really kill anything anymore because of the recruit. Oh, it's other than that creature. All right, yeah, I just don't know how this card works either. Okay, it can kill Screaming Nemesis. But I do have some creatures in play. Kind of, temporarily. And they'll be gone again next turn. Okay, was there a sequence where I could have made the real creature 4 toughness? Probably. Yeah, I think maybe if I sequence that correctly, this works. And then they have to bounce Paw Patch, and they're kind of behind for the first time ever. This is a spot where having more burn in the deck would be worth a lot. I've used 2 Burst Lightnings already, and that's basically it. Oh, Rona's Vortex. That means they didn't even need to use the bounce. Okay, well, let's just keep it going, huh? Challenger that I can hit with the Mouse Village, which flips another card, whether they like it or not. A third nowhere to run. Horrific. Can I flip a useful card? No, literally no targets. Oh god. My reactive cards that I sideboarded in. This is what I was worried about when I brought them in. And there it is. That would have been a spot to just hit a haste creature and do some damage. Seed of Hope. Can I reasonably deck them? Is that possible? I think they have 7 more 5/5s in their deck. And I can deal with the next 1. Oh, double Storm Chaser's Talent. Now they're fully off. Questing Druid, okay. Seek a Beast. Just going right now. I hit 2 lands, awesome. Okay, Copperline Gorge, and I'm not going to play Questing Druid. That one doesn't have a timetable on it. I can do that whenever I want. It's just on a quest. It's not in the exile zone. In the bottle, as they say in R&D. Level 2. The town is back. No attacks, all right. Didn't take my opponent for a coward. Heartfire Hero. What if I just play, like, 4 creatures in the same turn, 6 turns from now? But if these Storm Chasers' talents get up to level 3 and they're pumping out otters, I can never win that game. Nowhere to Run actually answers Heartfire Hero completely. Alright, I guess I'll pass the turn. Standard players are probably like, bro, you're in the lock, just stop. And that might be true, but I want to feel it for myself, feel what the actual range is here. Storm Chaser's Talent gets back Bushwhack, another removal spell. All right, Bushwhacking for a basic land. Forest is in play. Right, they started attacking, then changed their mind. They're really worried about haste creatures, despite me feeling like I can't do absolutely anything. Okay, I mean, this is the card that was kind of okay a moment ago. Right, Offspring this. Okay, Offspring this thing. Let me see if I can use it correctly this time. Offspring, Druid. They're nowhere to running in response. And I end up with a 2/2, 3/3. Druid's on the stack. Yeah, they can bounce my token and pick up nowhere to run. Wait, caramba. Yeah, this is an effective lock. I believe it. I'm buying it. What you're selling, I'm buying. Okay. Heartfire Hero, get in there. I tried. I might even time out here. I've spent so much time thinking about how I could get out of this. Talent brings a fresh otter. Leveling it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, they could just do it all. Okay, I'm convinced. That was a really insane endgame. That was really cool. I wish I had more time to figure out standard because that was a delight. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw for round 4. My hand is really good. 1-drop, 2-drop, removal, pump. Except the Restless Ridgeline is here. The much discussed Restless Ridgeline. It kept me kind of in that game last round for a little while. Like, I got to do stuff that didn't line up perfectly against everything they were doing. But here it is actually going to mess up my curve in a way that I have to think about. Okay, now I don't have to think about it. Hired Claw. Opponent mulled to 6 and has a mountain. I don't expect this Hired Claw to survive very long. It didn't have the removal on curve. Oh, we're Boros. Fun. Challenger. I can Burst Lightning that or obliterate it, but I think I'd want to Burst Lightning. Now I can play 2 cards. Yeah, I'm going to Burst Lightning it. I don't think there's a 0-mana spell they could play. Those are generally reserved for higher power formats than this. With them on the mulligan, I don't want to let them have a creature that can gain card advantage stick around very long. This deck gets Boros Charm. That's cool. Manifold Mouse versus Challenger versus Innkeeper's Talent. I'm going to play the Mouse. This pumps Heartfire Hero in a way that makes it kind of a must answer, and having this one in play makes my haste creature better next turn. Lightning Helix, yep. That card also legal in the format. Really good burn spells in the format, actually, right now. My tap land, I've paid my cost of doing business. Now we're off to the races. A land would actually be really good here, letting me double spell. Mouse Conqueso. And we did it. How do I want to play this? They've got 2 cards left in hand. I think I want to go for size. Okay. Emberheart Challenger. Innkeeper's Talent. I'm going to talent the hero. And then I have a 3/3, a 3/3, and a 1/2 that deals damage on attack. They're attacking back for minimum 4. They've got 3 cards in hand. Is getting the Hired Claws 1 point through worth risking just dying? I don't think so. Because they can touch butts with the Manifold Mouse, and this Hired Claw just does its attack trigger damage and not its actual damage. And I think compared to leaving it back and making sure I don't die to double pump spell is better. Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay. This exiles something until this is gone. Does Lifelink and Ward 2? Lifelink's pretty messed up. It feels like Lightning Helix and Sheltered by Ghost go a long way to solving red mirrors. There's just so much lifelink here. But I'm also not that worried about it, not yet. They'll probably just give Double Strike and Trample to the big one. Double Strike, Trample, okay. I will not be interacting with this. Whatever damage it's dealing, I'm taking. Okay, that is a monstrous amount of rage. And now I can bolt this, which gets this back. Let me just make sure Ward 2 is all that's going on. Ward 2. All right, yep. Obliterate you. Pay the ward. Okay, that's gone. And now I could still hit a land drop off Emberheart Challenger here. I think I'll try to do that. Monstrous Rage, disappointing. Okay. Attack. Leaving back the blocker. This would trade if this thing gives itself double strike. If they draw their own Monstrous Rage, I'm in trouble. They drew a spell. You just Boros Charm me twice is also good. Alright, Lightning Helix. That means nothing's really happening this turn. I don't think they want to trade their mouse with my claw. They gave it trample. Yeah, they're definitely not attacking if they're giving trample. Hey, this guy again. That's the one they just tried to deal with. Or, I mean, did successfully deal with. Definitely targeting this now. I got a lot of mana for spells. Attack. And then Rockface Village, another Heartfire Hero, and I'm gonna just buff this. They have enough mana to pay for Ward if I were to upgrade Innkeeper's Talent, but having a 2/2 in play. All right, cool. Yeah, they just gained 3, 6, what was this, 10? They gained 16 life that game and then died. Cool. This is definitely a matchup where being the creature build feels better than being the burn build. Though the burn does primarily also kill creatures, which is helpful. I don't think I've cast Monstrous Rage yet this league, and it's not going to start now. I'm just going to bring in a pile of removal, I think. Do I want Paw Patch Recruit more than Innkeeper's Talent? Maybe. I think I do. Just a creature that can help grow my squad out of burn range. The Paw Patch formation could answer Sheltered by Ghosts, but so does removal. A nice little curve. I'm not really interacting at all, but I am sending it. Screaming Nemesis is kind of interaction. Battlefield Forge, that's a tough one to open on in a red mirror. Not that I feel bad for them, they are my enemy. Okay, Torch the Tower. Okay, they saved the 1 damage that they would have taken from the thing and replaced it with their land. Oh no. Interesting. Well, I'm going to keep challenging their interaction. Make you tap that Battlefield Forge. Okay, they had 2 of them. Kept the hand on the strength of something, and it clearly wasn't the lands. Here we go, a tap land coming in a spot where it probably matters a lot. Screaming Nemesis. Coming screaming in your direction. I played the 3/3 there because there's not a 1 mana spell that can deal with a 3/3 that they play. And if they Helix this, I send the damage back to their face and then they can't gain life anymore, and the strategic advantage that the white build has over the green one is just gone. And then they have inefficient spells that don't do what they're supposed to. Right, yep, we're just racing now. Hey, another one of these. I like these. Okay. Keep screaming. And I'll play out the hero. I might need a blocker. I don't know. If they put Shelters by Ghosts on this, that is removal. It is a big 4 life swing. Is it 5? Does Shelter give +1/+0 as well? We're about to find out, I think. Lightning Helix, okay. Going for the hero. Afraid to go after the Nemesis. Oh yeah. Okay, I am going to seek a beast. I actually want to leave up Rockface Village in case I hit a mouse. Or a lizard, or both. Okay, Hired Claw, play that. Challenger, play that. Squad. Opponents at 2. Okay, game 1 was really interesting. We overpowered 16 points of life gain, and then game 2, they just kind of mulliganed and had a 1-lander and died. On to the final round. I'm on the draw in the final round. Have to mulligan this no-lander. Okay, this has some lands. I'll keep it. And the first appearance of Monstrous Rage in my entire life. I'm going to bottom Carplusan Forest and keep my spells. Razor Verge Thicket, Llanowar Elf. That's a name I've not heard in a long time. I could Bolt the Bird, which is generally regarded as good fundamental magic. Alright, I am going to do this. As much as I'd like to be on board, I could still spend all my mana next turn. Double Monstrous Rage. I hope those are good here. This might be a case where we end the game in effectively 1 giant combat step. Ardenvale Fealty. Alright, they've got a Knight token. I don't actually know what this Selesnya deck even is. I know there are token decks with Caretaker's Talent. Maybe this one just splashes green. Oh my goodness. This hover ship. When this enters, exile up to 1 target creature with toughness 5 or less. When this leaves the battlefield, owner manifest dread. Alright, okay, so that's just a super wonky removal spell. That's actually pretty good. Restless Ridgeline. I could play that, or I could just do more damage. I think I want to save the Monstrous Rage. I win this combat anyway. I'm just going to attack with Claw and see what they do. And the answer is probably nothing. Alright, yeah, I'll do the pump. I want to save the Rages for a turn where they think they have blocks, but they don't. This is cool because you just never get the card back. You manifest dread. It's like Skyclave Apparition. Overlord of the Mist Moors. Yeah, this is almost certainly a token deck of some variety. I just had to check this wasn't enters or attacks. Nope. That crew's too cheap for an attack trigger as well. Ugh. Well, the 4th mana actually does let me pump and rage. Please double block, please double block, please double block. Just one block. Okay. I'm going to put the +1 counter on it. And it's going to become enraged. 6/5 trample. Do I want to rage now? Because that will turn on Restless Ridgeline next turn. I think I'm going to save the second rage. If they have an actual removal spell, I'm just in trouble no matter what. And the monster roll replaces itself. You don't get 2 monster rolls, and this 2 damage is 2 damage next turn, the same as it is this turn. So this, if I still have a creature to target, just holding this back makes sense to me. A Vidge flying. Sheltered by ghosts. We're fucked. Alright, well, that's very bad. Doing that post-combat. Not interested in lifelink. Okay. Paw Patch Recruit. Okay, I have this 3/4 I can attack with that they can just double block and it dies. I think I still have to go after it. This kills their whole board. Or no, they can crew the hover ship, but then I can Manifest Dread. Yeah, I'm definitely attacking. I don't think they'll even block because they have a 3-power lifelink creature that can come back my way. They can wash this damage right out. The Overlord wakes up turn after next, which means I have to win this game pretty quickly. So I could definitely see the argument of just block with your 2 things and let me deal no damage to anything. Okay, they just jump blocked. That's fine. Evangelist, this makes a bat. This also has Battle Cry. Llanowar Elves. Yeah, it's definitely a deck full of creatures. They can attack for 7 right now and leave themselves with 12. I don't think I can ever win this game. Innkeeper's Talent. Yeah, dead. Okay. If Monstrous Rage was Burst Lightning or Torch the Tower on the turn they went for Shelter, I think I'm way ahead, but that wasn't the case, so cool. Destroy a flying creature, an enchantment. Their overlords are enchantments. Burst Lightning, I like to get over the finish line with. And if they have Sheltered by Ghosts, I'd like to be able to kill the things they're putting it on. Rage actually does look really good here. I didn't see a lot of instant speed interaction, and I did see a lot of X1 donkeys to put into play. I think replacing my expensive removal with cheap removal, that's also an instant, makes sense. Maybe I can back off a Rage, because drawing 2 that game was actively bad, but drawing 1 was pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cut some Talents, Bolts, and Rages, make my removal a little more efficient and relevant. Okay, here we go. Ironically, I may have won that game if I didn't bolt the bird. I did have my 1 of main deck Burst Lightning available that game, and I went after Llanowar Elf instead of having it on the turn they went for the Shelter. I don't know how much, like I'm not going to try to replay that game where they're 1 mana ahead, but certainly in retrospect. On the play with 1-drops and stuff to do, I'm in. I think this is the mousiest mouse open I've had yet in the league. Like hero into Manifold Mouse, attack for 4, kill your thing, curve out. That's the plan anyway, as long as my opponent isn't a big jerk who plays removal spells. Manifold Mouse. Okay, this mouse gets bigger, and double strike, attack. 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Okay, I could have played around that if I was just more patient. Alright, fair enough. Learning. Lesson learned. Fired Claw. I guess I play Paw Patch Recruit first in case they target my mouse in combat. Manifold Mouse gets double strike. Attack. Right, we got this one covered. I'm going to torch this tower. Saving the Burst Lightnings because they can go face. Restless Prairie, 3/3 for 4 mana. Okay. I guess I'm just going to go to combat again. There are no lizards in play. Double strike. Attack. I'm going to seek the beast this turn rather than do anything else. I could seek the beast now, try to spike land to cast Hired Claw, but then I'm losing a card basically no matter what. I'm going to hold my Burst Lightning for Sheltered by Ghosts. It went right for it. Burst your lightning. Fizzling that feels really good. Not using all my mana feels kind of bad. Okay, let's do this all over again. Okay, still making the same play. Just control Gruul. Delver of Secrets. End of turn, I will seek my beast. They can activate this Restless Prairie here. Rockface Village from exile. Oh wow, alright, cool, they're done. Sweet. The Delver of Secrets game plan worked out really well there. Do I think my plan is any different on the draw than it is on the play? I do have these kind of big creature removal spells still in the sideboard. I think Monstrous Rage is even worse on the draw. Questing Druid is pretty cool. Just have more cards than them. I have 6 point-and-click removal spells in my deck right now, plus Paw Patch Formation that has some conditions applied. I could go plus Torch the Tower. Just play the most of those on the draw. Yeah, I think I am going to go full 7 1-drop removal spells. I think any time I can stop Sheltered by Ghosts from working is a good time. A 1-lander, but I gotta have faith. This does cast a lot of spells for 1 land, and if I draw another one at any point, we are in business. Heartfire Hero. Make it happen, buddy. My opponent should already know I have either 1 land or both lands are Karpaloosan Forest, because these are the worst lands in all of the decks, and it's the one that I have. Okay. Well, this sucks, but here we go. All right, I knew about that one. Couldn't play around it this time. But now that they've played that card, I can play Hired Claw. What I was worried about was flash in a 2/2, equip it with Shelter, but once they spent mana, that's not a thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, Sandstorm Salvager is a 1/1 that brings a 3/3, and I've still continued to miss my land drops, which could have played around by taking a mulligan and chose not to. Okay, I think I'm going to play this Hired Claw and pass the turn. Yeah, maybe I just can't be afraid of 6. This hand just goes off. Wait, this card's in Standard? What? It's in the Foundations Starter Collection, which is apparently different than the Foundation set and also legal in the format. Fascinating and terrifying. Okay, is it too late? It might be. I can kill Leaf Liege and attack. I could play Challenger. I could take a round of massive beats to Questing Druid and try to do more. All right, I'm just going to pass. Mirrex. This puts a +1 counter on each creature token you control. Mirrex makes creature tokens. I see the combo. Well, Paw Patch Recruit will become unbeatable if this Leaf Liege is still in play. I will try to finish it off. Now I basically have to play bigger creatures than them because spot removal just became unbearable. I don't think this game is really winnable. Screaming Nemesis, maybe, if they just can't do anything else. When this attacks, your other creatures get +1. Yeah, that's a mess. And they can just put a counter on this. Okay, I did find land number 3. I identified Screaming Nemesis as the card if there is one that might be able to tangle with their squad, and here it is. I'm in a lot of trouble, though. The Paw Patch Recruit, also a token, who got buffed by the Salvager. I suspect this matchup is probably okay. Obviously, missing 2 land drops, you're going to struggle with any, and I probably should have just mulliganed that 1-lander, but I think if we were able to cast these torches on curve while I had a creature in play, would have been okay. But now it's pretty far out of reach. Another Salvager. Holy guacamole. This deck is sweet. Standard just has so many cool things you can do in it. Okay, so they're probably going to pump. And what does this Nemesis even do at that point? I could send 4 damage somewhere. I could force the activation on this Paw Patch Recruit, and then I'm at 4 life and dead to their squad. Okay, +1 counter on that. 3 damage has to go somewhere, and this will also trigger the first Paw Patch. These Sandstorm Brigaders are going to be unbeatable, but at least they cost mana. I guess I'll deal damage to the Recruit. I can't beat 2 giant trample creatures. All right, we're dead. Should have mulliganed that last game. In summary of this league, I beat the 2 red mirrors, and I lost to every other deck. I don't like that. I do like the power and redundancy, and the grinding power is actually there with the talent, the druids, the hitting offspring in the mid game, Screaming Nemesis just coming in crazy, the creature lands, the tech lands, the Rockface Village. The cards in this deck are doing a lot, and you are seeing a lot of cards, and it's not like kill your first 3 creatures and you lose. There's so much more than that going on. That said, there's way less going on than the Dimir deck. I think all else being equal in Magic in general, whether I can be the deck with Monastery Swiftspear or the deck with Fatal Push, I would rather be the deck with Fatal Push. Those cards being generic stand-ins for Cut Down, Heartfire Hero, Go for the Throat, Manifold Mouse, whatever. But I'd rather be the person answering the red aggro deck. Like, that's just the posture I'm more comfortable with in Magic. And if there's a mid-range Dimir deck at the top of the format that just contains play patterns that are completely immaculate and I love, that also has a high skill mirror that I believe I can learn, I think I'm going to do that instead. So almost certainly playing Dimir at the Spotlight Challenge, which happened 3 days ago at the point that you're watching this, but this was an informative league for me. I actually did learn a lot. I learned that this grants haste, that exactly how Pod Patch Recruit works. Obviously I could read it and figure it out, but some stuff until you see it in play, it takes a minute. Doing research for this video, I also learned the different flavors of Gruul. Like, if I see Monastery Swiftspear, that means certain things. If I see Pod Patch Recruit, that means different things. And that's really important to be aware of. I'm going to leave that here. I am really excited to play high stakes Magic this coming weekend. Standard is really cool. We saw 5 different decks in this league, and none of them were Dimir, which was the top deck in the format. Lots of stuff you could do. I was really impressed by that Terror deck and the end game it kicked into, where it's looping this town ain't big enough. That was awesome. I'm going to sign this one off, though. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, especially if you like seeing Standard. Like, comment, share with your friends. Show me with the numbers that you want to see this, because I know most people don't. I'm out of here. See you next time.